Welcome back to Let's Play OBS. I mean, Dragon Age. Dragon Age, yeah, Dragon Age. Let's carry on, shall we? We are at Ostagar right now. Let me just check everything's working. It is. Great. Let's carry on. We are at Ostagar. I'm about to say Astagar there. That's not the right, is it? And we will be diving into some more dexterity so we can get our thingy up, and we'll do some more of that, and we'll do some more of this. Lovely stuff. We can get rid of this shield one, because I'm about to get to close combat weapons, which is good. I'm just double checking the sound is alright. I'm going to turn it up a little bit there. If you ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes, I guess this is more of a... It's pretty cool for you guys to see what goes on behind the scenes. Anyway, let's run down and walk around. So one thing about fantasy architecture. Now, feel free to discuss in the comments or whatever. You know, the only, on Earth, right, the only cultures that could have made something as tall as this, maybe Rome, maybe ancient Egypt, maybe in Europe, like in classical antiquity, right? Those are the only powers that I know of globally back in the day, if we're looking at a fantasy medieval setting that could make something quite this big. Hello? Can I help you? Anyway. And the fact that it's... And even they couldn't do this. We didn't see buildings this big until we get to, like cathedrals and other monumental buildings of the late medieval period. The mid to late medieval period. And even then, I don't think they're quite that big. Do you know what I mean? And that tower was supposed to be from the Tevinter Empire way before this, like the Roman Empire of this day, so... I'm not... Hang on, you know what actually kind of works? Because if you make magic, if you build that thing, if you use magic to build that thing, it would work. So yeah, do you know what? I'm going to retract my point. I think that's an actual accurate thing that could be in a setting like this. Because the Tevinter Imperium were an empire of mages, right? They're a Roman Empire with mages. Yeah, they could probably build that. Fair enough. Sorry, Dragon Age. There is a glitch here where you can get down to the battlefield later. I'm not sure if it works though, but I will have a look at it later on when we come to it. But there is a glitch on this rock here, where if you run into it at a certain angle, you actually end up on the battlefield down below. When you shouldn't.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere?
I often think that this guy was probably maybe a guy who won a prize to be a voice actor in the game, I don't know. And that texture behind him, whoa! That's 2009, baby. Where is Duncan's tent?
Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now.
I'm looking for a Grey Warden named Alistair.
Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages.
Tell me about Ostagar.
Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important.
Where can I get supplies?
Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest.
Where's the king?
Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Logain are on the southwest side of the camp. The king likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Tairn Logain wild, that does.
Circle of Magi is here?
A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it.
Do I hear dogs barking?
This is Ferelden, isn't it? The king has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible. Go on, then.
I'll be on my way.
Good luck to you, then.
I'm sorry. The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade.
The Fade?
The Fade is the realm of dreams and the land of the dead, or so the mages tell us. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed, not even by Grey Wardens.
Sorry, I'll go elsewhere.
Greetings, young man. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king.
I'm Royce.
Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
Will you be fighting beside the king?
Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
You faced Darkspawn before?
Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade?
I know the Fade is where you go to when you dream. That guy told me over there.
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
The Black City?
Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
The Chantry says many things.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
I'll just kill every Darkspawn I see.
A wise attitude. It's worked well for me in the past. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Corona, and we contemplate the death that may await. Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served.
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some Darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad. Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
What do you think I'd be?
Me? I was hoping for a comely lass with golden hair and terrible eyesight. The name's Davith. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
Maybe they did.
Just to give us a good scare? No, they don't really seem the type. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
Aren't there barbarians in the forest?
Chasing barbarians, yes. Cannibals, and witches too. My home village isn't far, and I grew up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place.
Why are the wilds so frightening?
Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
I'll watch your back if you watch mine.
I suppose I could do that. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain.
Can't say that I have, no.
Blast it. Where did she go? That suit better be patched up when she gets back, or by the maker up. No, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies?
Do you need help tracking the girl down?
Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find her myself.
What kind of supplies do you have?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand.
See your other goods.
So long as you keep it quiet.
Okay. Get rid of these iron rings. Okay. Okay. So the camp at Ostagar is essentially where the game, like an ex-girlfriend back in the day, she loved Dragon Age, and she said the start of Dragon Age Origins is the best opening to a game ever, and I agree, because Ostagar is a part of that start, and Ostagar is actually where you pretty much learn about the world. Like, the entire world of Thedas is in this camp. You got the Templars and the Mages, you got the Grey Wardens, you got the people of Ferelden, the army, all the main people of Ferelden, right? You got the Ash Warriors are here, the Mabari Hounds, the Darkspawn. Like, they're all here, and they're all talking to you in one way or the other.
Welcome, young man.
Who are you?
I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity.
You speak very strangely. Why is that?
Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared?
Because magic is powerful and dangerous.
It is dangerous beyond its power. Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily, and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous.
How was somebody made tranquil?
Our forehead is branded with magic, which stills our talent and mind. The process is irreversible as far as I am aware.
Perhaps they should tranquil all mages then.
You might feel differently were you a mage.
He sounds offended, do you know what I mean? This is what I mean about the tranquil. Like, I said that because it's something that Royce would say, not something that I would say, right? He's a dumb jock, right? He doesn't understand the world at large, and he asks stupid questions sometimes. And he says stupid things. He's not used to offending people. He's used to people groveling for his attention and stuff. But, like, this tranquil dude sounded offended. He's not supposed to sound offended. No, I feel badly for you.
You do? I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance?
What is enchantment exactly?
It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not.
What sort of enchantments are there?
Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well.
I should go.
Goodbye. That course of action is inadvisable.
Okay.
Now's better than later. What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
You are a very strange man.
You're not the first to tell me that. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
Would that make your day worse?
Hardly. I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. From Highever. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize.
It's alright, no offense taken.
Good. You didn't exactly catch me at my finest with the mage there. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Alistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
I can't prepare on my own.
I know. I felt the same way when I did this. Unfortunately, they don't give us much choice. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before?
No.
When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
What about the other recruits?
Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them?
I met Davith.
Right, that cutpurse Duncan conscripted. Not sure what Duncan sees in him, to be honest. Keep an eye out, maybe we'll see the other one. Or I can track him down later.
An argument I saw, what was all that about?
With the mage. The Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are. Which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar.
You were a mage hunter?
Not that that's all Templars do, but yes. The Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech.
You don't have to accompany me, do you?
Don't worry, I'll try not to embarrass you.
Alright, let's go.
If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on. Yes?
Tell me a little about you.
As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. A Chantry raised me. And becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him.
You didn't want to join the Chantry?
It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry.
Let me see if the sound's coming through properly. I want to turn it up a little bit. There we go. You speak fondly of Duncan.
I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me.
Maybe Duncan thought you'd be useful.
Or maybe he just happens to be a good man.
He's getting touchy, isn't he? Alright.
What about? So I imagine. What would you like to know?
What makes you all so special?
The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me.
So they're knights, heroes, what?
I don't know if I go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory.
Where are all the Grey Wardens now?
The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Kalen is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done.
I'm not sure I know anything about the Grey Wardens.
Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weissalp's fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs far off in the Anderfels? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. A few more in other nations.
So, the Grey Wardens have the right to recruit anybody?
King Marek, Kalen's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again.
Alright, that's all I wanted to know.
You want to ask me about something else?
This blight Duncan mentioned.
Of course.
So what is a blight? Where did Darkspawn come from?
You want the Chantry's version or the truth?
Give me the truth then.
The truth is we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten.
What's the chant? Yeah, I know what the Chantry's version is. So what you talked about was the first blight?
Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight.
So where's the archdemon for this blight?
We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there.
Why not kill the Darkspawn when they're underground?
They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far.
What is an archdemon exactly?
The old gods were dragons, so the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons.
Why are some people so skeptical?
The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last Blight. People decided they were gone for good. Of course.
How do Grey Wardens defeat blights?
We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the Archdemon Underarl in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last Blight. Without the Archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground.
How did anybody even know about this blight?
The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining, if you well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess.
Just how many Darkspawn are out there?
Thousands? Tens of thousands? They've had centuries to build up their numbers. You want to ask me about something else?
Tell me about Duncan.
Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden. Which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet. Beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him?
I owe him as well. Yeah, he saved me.
That sounds familiar. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else?
The joining ritual.
I wish I could tell you more. Maybe ask me again after Duncan speaks to you about it. You want to ask me about something else?
The battle.
The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Tan Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Kaelin just wants his place in history. The Tairn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot.
How much will I be participating?
You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them.
Alright. What's happening here? Why is it happening here, of all places?
We're at the edge of the Korkari Wilds, the eye of the Blight Storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days.
What are our chances of success?
I'm sure Tan Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, no Blight has ever been defeated with so little cost.
What if we fail?
If we don't break the Horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it. Which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Tairn really seems to believe this is a real Blight, however.
Alright.
You want to ask me about something else?
No.
Then let's get a move on, shall we?
So it's not. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. So there we go. It's actually a little thing that you should always in Dragon Age ask people questions, talk to them, because for years I didn't even know you could do that with Alistair. You know.
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes. So let it be.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
Yeah, I'm Royce.
Saturi is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arlaman. You have the bearing of a man who knows how to fight. If I may ask, were you a soldier before you came here?
I wasn't a soldier, but my father did train me to fight.
Are you a nobleman? I am honored to be in your company, my lord. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
What? I wouldn't be here if I had a choice in the matter. But it's true, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if I had a choice in the matter.
I fought hard to get here. Impressing Duncan was not easy. Tell me, has anyone told you what this joining ritual entails?
Davith said we might be going into the wilds.
I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Alright. But you're disappointed Alistair didn't say anything there.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me.
And if I have?
I doubt I'm that lucky. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you. All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Tell me why you're in there first.
I'm a deserter. Or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way.
And I bet you're as innocent as the sunrise.
I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water.
If you weren't deserting, then why were you sneaking around the camp?
Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then. I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp. I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water.
Didn't find the key when you were arrested?
I swallowed it, but it's come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
That's pretty disgusting, dude.
And an excellent party trick, I'll bet.
Yeah, well, do you want the key or not?
I'll see what I can do.
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
Who is this prisoner exactly?
They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right?
Why did he want to desert?
Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you.
Seems a waste for you to guard him all day.
I can't just let him go, can I? The army will figure out what to do with him. Probably just waiting for someone important to make a decision. Then they'll hang him, I expect. And I can go and do something else.
I had a chat with him, actually.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He asked for some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
So what, you miss one meal? This man could be hanged soon.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Yeah.
Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Huh. Considering where that came from, let's hope we're not the only ones in good health.
I've never heard Alistair say that before, either.
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing?
Hello. No, I prefer not to.
Then begone, heathen. That the Grey Wardens accept the likes of you is forever their greatest weakness.
If you'd seen what happened to my parents, you'd know the Maker doesn't fucking exist, alright?
Sorry, the main army camp is off limits for you right now.
Okay.
I can't feel it.
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming.
There are Grey Wardens here, you know.
The Grey Wardens will die. The King will die. We'll all die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds.
What's wrong with him?
Aside from his wounds, we're not sure. His blood is untainted. He's just terrified.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them.
Alistair, anything to say? No? What a good Grey Warden you are. Jeez. You guys are really terrifying everybody, and Alistair's just like, yeah.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Turnlogane that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the Ten, I hope.
Do you talk to everybody like that?
If I feel like it. If you're not from the Ten, what do you want? We're busy.
You don't have the look of the other soldiers in the army.
We aren't. We're Ash Warriors.
What's an Ash Warrior?
Our training has been passed down since Matthias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
I wish there was a patch to turn the fucking dogs down. I really do. It's really annoying. What is it? Oh, do you know what? I'll leave it to your business.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
Yeah, fuck off.
Excuse me, I must get the hounds ready for battle. Half the dogs are sick from darkspawn blood. It's terrible.
I would talk. So he tells you a story about the. Now, do you know what? I'll go back and do it. I've realised they've shut up now. That's what really annoys me.
We're almost ready to scout the wilds. With luck, we'll slaughter a few darkspawn. So, what do you want? Be quick about it. We aren't. We're Ash Warriors.
But you're obviously not made of ash.
Do you take everything so literally? Our training has been passed down since Matthias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
And that's why our dog's called Matthias. There you go. Can I hear this old tale?
I am no bard, but I will do my best. Matthias was a plain tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. His chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Matthias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Matthias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain.
So you descend from the Clane?
They were simply the first to be taught. Others were inspired by his death to follow his path.
How did he die?
Matthias's prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people. Matthias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes. In the end, Matthias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day, and gave Matthias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today.
So he betrayed his wife and killed his lover.
He was a great man with great passions. Perhaps you'll hear a more inspiring version in a tavern someday.
So what does Nash Warrior do?
We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his.
Why have you painted them?
They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies, but the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same.
What if the enemy is painted with caddis as well?
Why? Would you steal our caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes?
No.
Good. I hear death is unpleasant.
What are you preparing for?
To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight.
Survives the blood? What do you mean?
Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill.
Wouldn't it be smarter to leave your dogs behind?
They fight at our side. We don't fret over their safety as if they were children.
All right.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
So there we go, Legend of Luthius, the Dwarf Sons. That's the guy that my dog is named after in this game.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now?
Tell me about the king, you must see him a lot.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Teyrn Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
I have my doubts.
That's how the Teyrn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Teyrn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
Do they fight often?
More than usual lately. Good thing the Teyrn's the only one who can speak to the king like that.
All right.
As you wish. You approach the tent of Teyrn Loghain. State your business.
Is the Teyrn in... Oh, tell me about Teyrn Loghain.
How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Teyrn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn.
Is he inside? What's he doing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities.
I'd like an audience with him, please.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
I'm not a Grey Warden yet.
You impressed His Majesty, nonetheless. He could not contain his excitement over your meeting. Kalen's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
A fascination you do not share.
The Wardens are impressive, but not as relevant as Kalen thinks. You look familiar. Have I seen you at the Landsmeet?
My father was the Teyrn of Highever.
The king told me of his promise. I'm certain he has every intention of following it through. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
I don't know.
If Kalen has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort.
Seems like a fool to me.
He is Maric's son, and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
I'm really surprised that Alistair didn't say anything there.
This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat.
Don't want to use the family
We've
sword.
lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die. There are lots of darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never even heard of. Our short friend here, for instance, is something called a genlog. They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. They're on any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
He's supposed to be the battle that's finished.
I want this nonsense talk stopped immediately. What are you, a bunch of Natric fishwives spreading gossip until you brown your small clothes out of terror? We've seen nothing to suggest that the Darkspawn drag our people underground to eat them. And I want this talk about Darkspawn enslaving survivors to stop immediately. Keep your minds focused on the battle. You fight for Ferelden and for your king. Remember that.
The last scouting party made it back last night. Barely.
What do you mean?
Only 2 of them made it, and one was minus a leg. Said they encountered some darkspawn that was 10 feet tall, with horns as long as your arm. The injured one died last night. They said his blood was already turning black.
Maker's breath. Where are they all coming from?
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and...
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed?
What do you mean?
I deliver messages around the camp. You have a message for me?
Yeah, sure.
Then what is... Oh, wait. Are you the one I'm supposed to give Sir Garland's sword to? Because I think the smith's done with it.
Yep, you're supposed to give it to me.
Oh, that's such a relief. You really saved me from the switch for sure. I'd best get back to my duties again before I get in more trouble.
Whoops. It's a good sword as well. It's a very good sword.
Hello again. You need something now?
Just saying hello.
Oh, alright. Nice to see you again.
Oh, shit. Maybe I should go and try and sell it at the smith to see what he does with it. To be honest with you, that elf is not going to get into trouble. I know because, well, you'll see in a moment, I suppose. But, yeah.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You 4 will be heading into the Kokari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood. 1 for each recruit.
What do we need the blood for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
Okay. What's the second task? I wouldn't ask the other 2 questions that I know the answers already.
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are they?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
Is it part of our joining too?
No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task.
Where will we find it?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
And if they're no longer there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
Find the archive and the 3 vials of blood. Go understood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Alright, wolves first.
Got it.
So the cool thing about picking things up in this game is that if you have one wolf pelt, you can have like 8 or 9 of them in the same slot, which is pretty cool. Because they do sell.
Over here. Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
Let's try and bandage him up at least.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. Oh, I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
Overcoming these dangers is part of our test.
That's true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
I'm ready.
You said you're from Redcliffe?
I hail from Redcliffe, but Duncan recruited me in Highover, a city off the northern coast. Have you traveled there?
My father was the lord of that town.
My Lord Cousland. I'm honored. I was in Arlayman's retinue when he attended King Maric's funeral. It was in Highover that I met my Helena. I was smitten. She has the most beautiful eyes, my Helena. Now, for years, I found any excuse to return there. We married a year ago. Arlayman gave me leave to serve in Highover, but I was attempting to persuade Helena to come to Redcliffe with me, at least until I was recruited.
So you abandoned her?
Never. I will return to her once my duty is done and the Blight defeated.
Fair enough. How did the Grey Wardens find you?
Last month, Duncan visited, however, and the band held a tournament in his honor. I won the Grand Melee. It was hard to leave my wife. We married only a year ago, and she is heavy with child now. But Ferelden needs my blade, and I shall not falter.
What do you think of Duncan?
He has a seemingly impossible task, with a scarce handful of Grey Wardens, yet he does not complain or flinch from his duty.
What do you think we should do now?
We need to find those documents and the Darkspawn blood. It should be interesting.
All right.
Indeed.
Yes?
Where are you from, Davith?
I grew up in a village about a day's trip to the east. Little blot you wouldn't even find on a map. Haven't been back in years. I struck out for the city as soon as I could outrun my pa. I've been in Denerim for what, 6 years now? Never liked it much, but there's more purses there than anywhere else.
You're a cop purse?
And a pickpocket, thank you very much. Or was, anyhow. Who'd ever guess I'd end up a Grey Warden?
So how did they find you?
I found them. I cut Duncan's purse while he was standing in a crowd. He grabs my wrist, but I squirm out and bolt. The old bugger can run, but the garrison caught me first. I'm a wanted man in Denerim, you see, so they were going to string me up right there.
What happened then?
Duncan stopped them. Invoked the right of conscription. I gave the garrison the finger while I was walking away. Don't know why Duncan wants someone like me, but he says finesse is important and that I'm fast with a blade. You bet your boots I am. Besides, it beats getting strung up.
What do you think about Duncan?
All right for an old bugger. He's faster than he looks too.
What do you think we should do now?
You heard the same speech I did. Blood and old treaties. Off we go into the wilds.
All right, let's go.
Hey, I'm following you, aren't I?
And here's the first Darkspawn. Davith went down.
What can I do?
We need to find... Ah, what's this?
That flower. White with a red centre. The kennel master at Ostergar was asking about those.
Why did you want them, do you know?
The kennel master said this flower can help dogs that get sick from biting Darkspawn. At any rate, he was offering a reward if someone went into the wilds and brought him one. Might want to think about it is all.
Cool.
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive.
hoping we'd find at least something that I could use. So you've got a dagger. Got 2 daggers. You know what? You can have longsword and 1 dagger, and I'll have the other one. That's better.
Careful. I'm sensing darkspawn nearby. Best be on your guard.
See how much quicker he is now he's got 2 blades. Now he's got the 2, he's a lot quicker.
Foolish creature, it should know better than to attack.
Ooh. Since I leveled up, may as well.
All right.
What do you know? More darkspawn about. Prepare for random violence.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off? Yeah. Wait for you.
Back here, son of a bitch.
You need something? All right, all right. I'll get on it.
My Grey Warden senses tingling. We're in danger again.
right, all right.
Go. Son. Well, what was that I just picked up? Grey Warden heavy helmet. Okay. Enchanted dagger. Very nice.
I'll get on it.
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
I'm neither. Grey Wardens once owned this tower.
'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wild, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the Wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there, handsome lad. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine. Let us be civilized.
Right, I'm Royce. Pleasure to meet you.
Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer? You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Then who removed them?
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Can you take us to her?
There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you. Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, dammit. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Do you possess a different viewpoint? Or do you believe as the others do?
I believe you have something we need.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True. They came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
I'm sure they'll be eager to act on your advice, sure.
Well, I cannot be responsible for their doubts. I would go mad. Or am I already? Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
That worked out.
Greetings. Are you one of the Grey Wardens that went into the wilds? Did you happen to see any white flowers?
Yeah, I have some of them with me.
I don't know for sure that the flower will aid my poor hounds, but it's worth trying. I have, let's see, 20 silver to offer as a reward for it.
Don't worry about it, just take the flowers.
You're very generous. Thank you for your help. Perhaps we won't lose as many hounds today as I'd feared.
Yeah, Royce is many things, but he does like dogs. As you may figure out by now. Mine!
Back again? Don't the Grey Wardens need you? Off you go.
I'm wondering if there's any more things to say around here. I guess not.
So there's supposed to be more of these Grey Wardens coming, I hear.
Petron said they were Orlesians, coming with a whole army of them fancy Orlesian knights.
If my pa wasn't already in his grave, that'd put him there.
You think they'll leave once this is done? If we ask them nice?
If they don't, then we keep on fighting, I guess.
I'd rather fight them painted fox than these darkspawn. That howling there.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful?
We have.
Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
Now maybe we should tell you about Morrigan and her mother.
There was a woman at the tower, and her mother had the scrolls. They were both very... odd.
Were they wilder folk?
I don't think so. They might be apostates. Mages hiding from the Chantry.
I know you were once a Templar, Alistair, but Chantry business is not ours. We have the scrolls. Let us focus on the joining.
Will you tell us what it's about now?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
I've come this far, I want to see it through.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
Calm down, there's something we can do about it now.
I only know that my wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
You make a good point.
You saw those Darkspawns tonight. Wouldn't you die to protect your pretty wife from them?
Maybe
you'll die. Maybe we'll all die. If nobody stops the Darkspawn, we'll die for sure.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last, we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood, and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
Let's get on with it then.
We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten. And that one day, we shall join you.
Davith, step forward. I am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child. Had I known...
There is no turning back.
No! You ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete. You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden. It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
I still can't believe he killed Jory.
Jory was warned that there was no turning back, as were you all. When he went for his blade, however, he left me no choice. It brought me no pleasure to end his life. The Blight demands sacrifices from us all. Thankfully, you stand here as proof. They are not all made in vain.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the king.
Very well.
The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
Alright. Dog sleeping. Fair enough. Let's put some of our Grey Warden armor on, shall we? Alright, I think that's where we'll leave it there. Got the armor on, got the dog, we're about ready to go. So I'll see you in the next part. See you then. Back to OBS.